This is the TCL C6K, in this case the 55-inch size. This TV has an ultra bass on-cue sound system. It is a TV with an LCD screen with vertical alignment pixel configuration, which means it has UVA panel, or in this case TCL preferred to call it HUVA panel because it has better viewing angles. But talking about the dark scenes performance, you must understand that this TV has a mini LED backlighting technology with, of course, local dimming function. But you need to understand that the dimming zones vary according to every size of this model. For example, this 55-inch size has 180 dimming zones, but for example, the 98-inch size of this C6K has up to 500 dimming zones. In practice, this means that the bigger sizes of this model will perform better in this area because the blooming effect will be much less, or in fact almost unnoticeable. While on this 55-inch size you can perceive more blooming effect, especially if you watch the screen from a very wide angle. But if you watch the screen being in front of it, you still will perceive some blooming effect, not so noticeable unless on the content you have subtitles and also some high dynamic range technology enabled. But in general terms, I think that the performance in this area of this model is more than okay, and remember, a bigger size of this C6K will perform better. I mentioned that TCL preferred to call this type of panel HUVA, which means horizontal vertical alignment. This means that the performance in dark scenes is good and the viewing angles are better compared to a UVA panel or conventional UVA panel. And in fact, here in practice you can see that the viewing angles are not that bad, but not so good as the level of an IPS panel. In terms of colors and brightness, first you need to know that this TV has quantum dot color technology, and the amount of brightness vary according to every picture mode and also according to the size of this TV. For example, bigger sizes of this C6K will have higher amounts of brightness. You have these options. For example, the adaptive brightness is for saving electrical energy, and the blue light filter is in case you need to suffer less from eye fatigue. Talking about the color accuracy and color saturation, you have this parameter known as dynamic color. If you enable it, it will show higher saturation of the colors in case you need it, and the color saturation in general of this TV is more than okay. If you need to have this parameter increased for some reason, I'm not telling you to increase it, I'm just showing you what this TV is capable of in this area. Also, you must know that the amounts of brightness I'm showing you on the screen are by using the movie picture mode, which is recommended by experts, but some picture modes such as standard or vivid will show higher amount of brightness. This TV has the IMAX picture mode, which is only possible to be selected when the content has, for example, HDR10. And you must know that the high dynamic range technologies will be only automatically enabled when the TV detects that the content has some HDR technology. This means that you cannot enable manually HDR10, HLG, HDR10 Plus, or in this case Dolby Vision. This TV, as you can see, supports Dolby Vision. These are the picture modes. If you didn't know, Dolby Vision works with dynamic metadata. This means that every scene will show different amount of brightness, all in favor of improving the level of details. And when the content is on SDR, which means standard dynamic range, you have this parameter known as automatic HDR conversion, which improves the performance, making SDR content look like HDR content, enhancing colors and also contrast ratio. So I must say that the color accuracy and amounts of brightness of this TV are more than okay for almost every user, And remember that the brightness amounts vary according to every size of this C6K. The gray color uniformity of this TV is more than okay, with not so noticeable dirty screen effect. And in fact, I think that the dirty screen effect will be almost unnoticeable when you watch this type of content with high color volume. Image upscaling results of this TV are good. Just remember that none of the current 4K TVs will show you a 4K result if the resolution of the content is low. And if that is the case, this TV will try to show you the best possible results. It is also important for you to know that this TV performed pretty well on this area of the motion handling by decreasing the judder effect. You need to use this parameter in case you want better smoothness in this type of scenes with camera panning or, for example, action scenes. This also applies, of course, with this type of scenes with a lot of dark and also fast movements. But of course the result is not perfect but pretty good compared to other TVs. And what you need to do is of course put motion clarity on high and dynamic acceleration activated. Let's go now with the gaming area, in this case by using the Xbox Series X. First thing you need to do, in case you haven't done it yet, is go here to settings, then channel and inputs, then external inputs, and here on HDMI mode select the on option because sometimes out of the box comes on off or auto. And this high frame rate mode is only in case you are using this TV with a powerful graphic PC card. After this, return to your video games consoles menu and enable everything is possible, for example Dolby Vision for gaming in case you want to play with this high dynamic range technology, and of course the 120 Hz. This TV is capable of the 144 Hz in 4K, but this will only work with a powerful PC graphics card. It is also important to enable the game picture mode, in this case Dolby Vision game, and also this game master option. On auto, this game master will be activated when the TV detects a video game. And if you press this button for a few seconds, this game bar will show up on the screen. You can change the design for these three options. Going here to theme style, you have these three options: blue, green and cartoon. You also can enable this HGIG, but when you play with Dolby Vision for gaming, this parameter cannot be used. With this game bar, you have the option of making an aiming aid appear on screen. You can change the shapes, color, size, and most important, the position, which can be very useful for some gamers. You have these three picture modes: original, FPS, and RPG. You can select whatever you want. In case you want, for example, a warmer color, you choose original, and also you have this parameter as shadow enhancement in case you need more level of details in some video games. Input lag times of this C6K are more than good. I think that almost every user will be more than happy with this TV's performance in this area. Same for the response times. From my point of view, from my personal experience, I have to tell you that I didn't notice any ghosting effect. I don't know if a professional gamer which is used to play with high-end monitors will perceive some ghosting effect on this TV. I really don't know. I simply need you to understand that this TV in this gaming area is one of the best options you can get right now. By the way, these are its inputs. I remind you that this TV supports 144 Hz up to 4K and also 120 Hz up to 4K in two of its HDMI 2.1 ports, and also is compatible with variable refresh rates technologies. Talking about the smart area, this TV has 2.5 gigabytes of RAM, almost 20 gigabytes of internal storage total space. About the processor, is an ARM Cortex A73 with a decent CPU clock range, 4 cores, and a GPU Mali G52. This TV is compatible with the screen mirroring function and also with what is known as multi-visual. You have these three options in case you need it. I'm going to use this first option. At the screen on the left, you can use, for example, some app and play a video, but only up to 1080p. And on the right screen, you can, for example, mirror your smartphone. I'm using, for example, a smartphone from Samsung, and achieving this option is pretty easy. You can play both videos at the same times in case you need it. The smoothness or fluency of this operating system is more than okay. You can jump from an app to another app, play videos. It will perform better compared to low-end models. You also need to understand that this TV is compatible with the voice commands options and also with what is known as hands-free voice control. The App Store is of course the Google Play Store. You can install some apps and also you can install external apps by using APK files. The operating system of this TV is Android TV based on the Google TV customization layer, and in some countries apparently this TV comes with Fire TV, which is based also on Android TV. Now, in order to be finishing this video, you need to understand that the speaker system of this TV is pretty powerful in theory and in practice, but if you need much more power, especially in terms of bass, you will have to purchase some soundbar or home theater. But for the vast majority of users, the speaker system this TV has is more than enough. And if you ask me if I recommend you this TV, of course I recommend you this TV. Just remember that the amounts of brightness and the dimming zones vary according to every size. This means a larger size of this C6K will have higher amounts of brightness and also more dimming zones. And if you are wondering what's different between this C6K and the C6KS, well, the main differences are that the C6K has a more powerful processor and it is compatible with the 144Hz, while the C6KS is not compatible with the 144Hz, but it is compatible with the 120Hz up to 4K. Unfortunately, the C6KS is not for sale in my country, so I cannot compare it with this C6K, which is better according to what I just mentioned. Please let me know at the comment section down below what you think about this model. Will you buy it and why? Or if you already have it, what you think about it? Will you recommend it? Yes or no? And I remind you, you can support my channel by making some purchases through the links I put on the description and also on the first comment. Also hit the like button if you like this video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and enable the notifications bell. I'm going to let you with the speaker sound system test of this smart TV. Until next time, thanks for watching.
最初から本気で行かせてもらうぜ。この戦いは仕事とは別だ。命までは取らない。